Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. It's time to get into the basics of foam rolling the whole body. There's a reason everyone is foam rolling now. Using the foam roller to massage out the main muscle groups will help with your mobility and improve your workouts. So join me in supplementing your wellness through foam roll basics. Let's get started. We're going to begin on our glutes, so lift yourself up on that foam roller. Let's start on the, we're going to actually start on the right butt cheek. I'm going to turn around here. Start on that right glute. So bring your right hand behind you, feet flat on the floor, knees bent. We're going to roll to the top and to the bottom of that right butt cheek. So you're not really leaning back. You want to get that left glute off the roller and just stay on that right side. So you want to get the whole range of motion. Go as high as you can comfortably without hitting that low back, and then all the way down, almost to where you're getting into that hamstring and leg. So we're getting a big, large range of motion all the way up and down. Notice if you have any trigger points, speed bumps, tender spots. You want to massage them out. So for our foam rolling basics today, we want to just hit most of the major muscle groups here, do a little bit of stretching after, and then you can always pick and choose later on if there's an area you want to go back to. So find the middle of that glute, bring that right ankle over the left thigh. If it's hard to get that knee to bend, if you have any knee issues or hip, you can always just hold that right knee up and roll if you can't get it to cross. You're going to open up that knee though, if it is crossed, and roll again. Now this gets a little deeper into that tissue because you're pulling it tighter, and you might feel that piriformis or some just extra trigger points getting massaged out. If you find a trigger point, pause on it and bring that knee up and down. And the length of time that you foam roll those glutes, it all depends on what you have going on. If you're in a big hurry, then just do, a few rolls, you're ready to go, get a quick stretch. If you have some trigger points and it's sensitive, maybe you move past them and come back a few times a day if it's sensitive. And then we're going to release. We're going to slide off of the roller. We really want to get into that glute now and stretch it. So you're sitting on the floor, you're going to bring that right knee close to the chest, cross your right foot over the left thigh, and then take your left arm and hug in that knee into the chest. Bring your right hand behind you and lift tall and just hug that knee. So you're getting a nice stretch through that glute that you just foam rolled, and then maybe flex that left foot. Pull that toe up. Take a deep breath in and let it out. So you want to just feel that tissue releasing, relaxing. We hold that stretch so that tissue can hydrate after foam rolling. You have a little bit more mobility there. Then we're going to release, and we're going to go to the other side. So you're going to lift yourself back up on that roller. You're going to lean onto the left hand, left butt cheek. Make sure that right glute's not really on the roller, and you're going to roll to the front and back or top and bottom of that butt cheek. Using the feet, if you have wrist issues, you can always go to your knuckle. You can use a block. You can always drop to your elbow if you need to, if it's way too much on the wrist. It does change a little bit what you're feeling in that glute. But again, making sure you're going to the bottom of the glute, getting into the leg a little bit, and then all the way to the top of that glute, almost to the low back, but not quite. All the way up and down. And notice the difference between this glute and the other side. Maybe one side's a little more sensitive. One more roll. Then we're going to pull that knee up, bring it in, and you can either roll or you can cross that ankle over the right thigh and open up the knee. And we're going to roll that whole glute again. There's a variety of ways you can roll that glutes and the different areas, but we're just going to go really basic today. So the leg out or the leg crossed or both. And if you find a trigger point, just pause on it, move that knee up and down. That will help release that trigger point. Couple more rolls, all the way up, all the way down. Then we're going to release that foot. Go ahead and slide onto the floor. Go ahead and straighten out the legs. That right leg stays straight. We sit tall. Pull that left knee into the chest and then pull the left foot across that right thigh. We're going to hug that left knee in with the right hand. Flex that right foot. Lift tall and twist. So you're really stretching through that left glute now. And you might find one glute more restrictive than the other. If you're right dominant, maybe that right side was tighter. If you're left dominant, maybe this left side's tighter or more restricted. And take deep breaths here. And you want to hold the stretch again for 10, 20, 30 seconds. 10 is good, 20 is better, 30 is best. For time's sake, we won't hold it for a super long time. And then we're going to release. Excellent. So from here, we're going to jump down. I'm going to bring the roller down to the ends of the mat. And so you can put your feet and your calf muscles on that roller. So we're going to roll the calf muscles. So again, major muscle groups, calf is another one that gets pretty tight. We're going to start with the right calf. And the roller is about the lower part of that calf muscle. If it's super painful, you do not have to cross the left ankle over the right. I do this just to add a little pressure. But if it's really painful, like if you have plantar fasciitis and you're finding knots as you bend and straighten that right leg, don't cross the leg. It's up to you. And make sure you tilt that leg side to side. And as you're rolling, you're getting down towards that Achilles tendon and then right up here below the meaty part of the calf. And you're doing the middle, you're tilting the leg to the left, and then all the way to the right as you bend and straighten that knee. And then we're going to start to change it up and we're going to add some rotation with the ankle. As we bend and straighten up the middle, then you turn your foot to the side, to the left side as you bend and straighten. And again, if this is getting tiring on your hands, you can always drop to your elbows or you can lay on your back if it's tough on the shoulders or your wrist. And then turn that leg to the right. Rotate that ankle. So just a quick rinse and rehydrate of that tissue. Now once we're done with that lower part, we're going to bring the roller higher and go into the meaty part of the calf. Again, you can have the foot on the side, on the floor, if it's too much, if it's too sensitive, or you can cross the left leg over the right and bend and straighten. So now you're in the meaty part of the calf, the gastroc. You're not going behind the knee, you're staying right below it. So just getting that little bit of range of motion in there. And then tilt your leg to the left, get the inside edge of that meaty part of the calf, and then the outside edge. And then add some rotation of the ankle. Maybe you just hold it in the center. You can always slide your body forward and backwards to get the different angles. It's hard to bend and straighten the leg at the top of the calf and rotate the ankle. It can be done, but it's a little challenging because sometimes your heel will hit the floor, especially if you have longer legs. And then turn your foot in and rotate. And then turn your leg out towards the right so it gets the right side of the calf. So rotate, rotate. Maybe find a spot, circle that ankle. We can even rock and roll it side to side. Little final massage out. And then we're going to bring the roller back down. Take your feet off of the roller. Straighten out the legs. You can keep the left leg bent or even bring it out to the side. And you're just going to lean forward, stay tall, pull that toe up. So you're getting a little stretch in the calf, the area we just rolled. If you can't reach your toes, no big deal. Just pull them up and then just do a little, like a windshield wiper with your foot. Just pull it gently side to side as the toes pull towards your face. Side to side. Getting a nice stretch. And then point the foot and then pull it back up again. One more time. Point the toe and then flex it. And then release. Now we're going to do the other leg. So let's go to the left. So place that left lower part of the leg on the roller, cross the right ankle over the top of the left, bend and straighten. And again, if it's too sensitive, you do not have to have the leg crossed. Then turn your leg in to the right just a little so you get the inside edge of the lower part, and then to the left so you get the outside edge of that left leg. And back through the center, we're going to add an ankle rotation, that lower part. And then turn it in, a little ankle rotation, both directions. And then to the outside edge. And again, if you have plantar fasciitis or you've got some knots there, you might want to stay a little longer on this area or come back to it, especially if it's sensitive. Give it a break, stretch it out, and then come back and foam roll it again. Sometimes it takes time, more than one time, numerous times. I've had knots in my calf. It's taken me a couple weeks to continuously work them out. So it depends on the body. Then you're going to move that roller up to the middle part, the meaty part of the calf, and a bend and straighten, and adjust, and then turn that leg in slightly to the right, inside of the calf, and then the outside. Notice the difference on this one compared to your other leg. Then back to the center, little rotation of the ankle, maybe moving that roller a little to the lower part of the meaty part of the calf, then up higher to the middle. Turn that leg in, circle the ankle both directions. Then we're turning that leg out to the side, a little rotation. If you are playing different sports, the calves can get pretty tight. Or just running, hiking, so many things. Sitting can also cause our calves to get tight, short and tight. All right, then when we're done, we're going to roll that roller away. Straighten the left. Go ahead and bend the right knee. Let the leg fall open. Pull that toe up and just lean over. And let's say you're reaching and that toe is out of reach. Just hold onto the thigh, the knee. Just lean into it enough that you can flex your foot and pull side to, and just windshield wipe that foot. Windshield wipe the foot. And no big deal if you can't reach that toe. And breathe. And then we're going to release the toe if you're holding onto it, or even if you're not. Point the toe and then flex it. And then point the toe. If the roller's in the way, just kind of push it out of the way. And flex it one last time. And then release. Excellent. Bring that roller in a little bit closer. So we did the back of the calves. We're going to do the shins real quick just so we can have that lower part of the body, the leg, lower leg done. So you're going to come to tabletop. A couple ways to do the shins. We're going to start on the right. So you would bring your right shin onto that roller. And notice I'm in the middle of the shin. I am not up by the knee. So I'll show you various ways. One is on the hands and tilt your body slightly, the right butt cheek kind of to the right. You can straighten the left leg going onto the left toe and just pull that right knee towards your hands so the roller goes up and down that shin from the ankle towards the knee. Rotate the ankle if you can. It might be plenty tender just rolling it, but if you add that rotation as you move slowly down that shin, it's a great way to release or prevent any shin splints. Option 2, if you can handle it, you can cross the left ankle over the right. And again, pull in and out with those legs. This takes a little more arm strength. Rotate that ankle, the right ankle, the one that you're on, both directions as you roll up and down. If you find a spot, just pause on it and circle the ankle a few times in each direction. And then we're going to release, and we're just going to go straight to the other side since we're here. So place the left shin in the middle of that roller, drop your hips towards the left. You can have your right leg straight, and you can pull in and out. You can also do this on the elbows if your wrists are are uncomfortable, it's a little more challenging. And then you can also, one last time, you can drop to your hip. You're just not going to get as much into the shin. Or you can cross the right ankle over the left and pull in and out. It's a great upper body, little bit of a challenge here. And then roll in and out, rotate that ankle, really get into those shins all the way to the bottom and get pretty close to the knee, but not too high, not hitting that top of the knee. And circle those ankles, find a spot, pause and rotate if needed. And just getting to the outside edge of that shin is key. That's why you have to drop the hips. Because if you're right in the middle, it's going to hurt because you're going right over that shin bone and you don't want to hit the shin bone. When you are done with that, you can come down to your knees. Now there's a couple ways to stretch out the shins. One is to place the the tops of the feet on the floor, and maybe you can lean back and get your glutes between your heels. If that is not happening, another great one that gets a little more is you bring the roller behind you, put the very tops of your toes on the roller, not the tops of the feet, but the tops of the toes. Separate your knees, and then start to hinge your hips backwards. It's a great shin stretch, and it goes all the way to the ankles. Great way to stretch it all out. Now, if it's too much on your knees, just keep the feet there and don't hinge the hips back as far. Just feel that nice stretch. And then slowly release. Bring those feet off the roller. So bring the roller back in front of you. So we're going to go to the top of the legs. Now we finished the bottom. We're going to do the top, the quads. So to get to the quads, so notice how we're doing that little stretch after each area, just to get it to move a little better and hydrate that tissue. So note the roller is right above the knees, elbows on the floor. Toes are relaxed, and just gently move yourself forward and back 1 inch. Your feet are about hip distance apart, and then I want you to walk your elbows back 1 inch so that roller moves up the thigh 1 inch and move forward and back 1 inch. And then walk the elbows back. So just doing a couple rolls forward and back, and then slide backwards. And then slide backwards again, couple forward and back. And you go all the way to the top of the quads as far as you can comfortably. Once you get there, you're going to use your elbows, kind of like a little commando crawl, slowly pulling your body forward up the mat so the roller gently, slowly moves down those thighs. And just continue walking it as that roller moves back to where you started, right above those knees. Again, there's lots of ways to roll the quads. We're just doing a different way today. One way, then bend the knees. Feet are up, and then gently slide your body backwards, walking your elbows back, sliding the roller towards the top of the quads in one slow, gentle sweep. And when you get to the top, slowly draw your body forward, drawing that roller back down the thighs. Slow and controlled. Everybody's leg lengths, again, are different, so work your way there. When you're there, you can straighten the legs, and we're doing one last sweep. Slowly walking the elbows backwards and walk the roller all the way up the thighs. As you're breathing. And then one more time, all the way back up. So the roller moves down the thighs towards the knees. And then to finish, to be able to get off the stretch, we have to walk our elbows back so the roller goes towards the top of the hips, because then it's easier to get off that roller. So all the way back down. Good. And then you slide off the back of the roller. You're going to separate your knees, feet together, slide your hips towards your heels, and just put your hands on the roller and then just melt your body forward to child's pose. And just shift your hips so your belly goes between your thighs, maybe your head to the floor. You can also, if it's a challenge for you, cross your arms on the roller. Put your forehead on the hands. It's up to you. Take a couple deep breaths. And then slowly come up. So stretch those quads a little over the knees there. So we're going to do, finish up a couple more spots for the legs. So you're going to bring your roller over to your side. We'll start with the right leg. So you're going to lay on your left side and bring your roller so you can put your right leg on top of the roller, so the roller's next to you, side lying longwise. So we're going to touch on the inner thigh just briefly. All right, so you're going to just do a gentle straighten and bend on that inner thigh. Again, this is foam roll basic, so we're just hitting the main muscle groups real quick here, and then bring that roller up a little higher on that inner thigh, straighten and bend, and then you're going to move it up a little higher. Little straighten and bend. And you might have to turn a little towards your belly to get it up into that inner thigh. And then you can rock yourself onto the side of your body and then back towards the belly to get that whole thigh. Just sweeping the roller along that inner thigh. And make adjustments. Now you can have your knee bent as you do this, or you can even straighten the leg and roll and sweep that roller from the knee to the top of the thigh on the inside edge. Now that might be a little more intense if you have that leg straight. Last one. Again, like I said, quick sweep of that inner thigh. If you found a spot, you can always go back to it. We're going to flip over, so just bring your roller to the other side. I'm going to turn around. So now you're laying on your right side and you're bringing your left knee on top of that roller. And you can have your head laying on the floor or you can support it. And you're going to straighten and bend that left knee. And the roller is longwise, kind of like a pillow next to you. And then bring that roller up, straighten and bend. And you might notice quite a difference from one inner thigh to the other. One might be super sensitive compared to the other. Bring it up a little higher. Again, rolling into it if you need to. Rolling towards your belly. You can have the knee bent or straight. We're just quickly touching base on those inner thighs. We kind of tend to skip the inner thigh, so that's why this is super basic. You just want to touch base on there to make sure there's no major knots, especially down here by the knee on the inside of that thigh. One more. Then when you're done, we're going to come up because we do want to stretch those inner thighs. So come up to tabletop on your hands and knees. You can bring that roller out in front of you so we have it for support. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring out, well, we did the right first, so you're going to bring your right leg out to the side. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. So the roller would be out in front of you, and you would bring your right leg would be out to the side like this. So you're feeling that stretch to the inner thigh. Hinge those hips backwards a little, and then maybe pull the toe up and bring it back down. A little rotation through that hip. One more. And then slowly bring that right knee in and extend the left leg out to the side. And again, hinge the hips back just enough so you start to feel that inner thigh stretch. And then pull that leg up and down. And there we go. Bring the knees back together. Now, one of the things that we want to get to, a lot of people ask about the IT band. So that connects to the TFL. So we're going to get into the TFL. That'll be our last place. There's hamstrings too. We'll maybe touch on hamstrings depending on our time constraint. Those are a little challenging to get. I prefer those with the tennis ball to get into the hamstrings. But for TFL, you're going to go onto the roller, onto your, find your right butt cheek. I'll turn to my right. So you're on your right glute, drop to your right elbow, straighten your right leg. Then I want you to roll all the way onto your right side from that right butt cheek. Keep your left leg bent and the foot pressed on the floor behind your right thigh. So you're right in that soft spot on the side. You want to feel that hip bone, but it's on the top side of the roller, so you're not above it. Then what you're going to do is that right leg, you're going to pull it in and out. You're going to bend the knee and then straighten it. Bend and straighten it. Again, remember, you're right on the side of the body and you're bending and straightening. So this is one way to get into that TFL, which connects to your IT band. Couple more, bend and straighten. Then you're going to straighten out that leg. Bring the hand to the floor so you have support. Rock yourself gently side to side. So you're rocking towards the belly, towards the thigh, and then back again. Might be a little tender for some of you might not feel anything. Everybody's a little different. One last one. And then you're going to slide off that roller. Let's do one more stretch for that area. Straighten out the left leg and pull the right leg, because we just stretched it, across. So you might feel a little extra stretch, a little higher up on that glute if it was a little tight, because that TFL and everything attaches in there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take that same right foot, slide it to the outside edge of the edge of the foot and pull it in a little further towards that glute. So your knee is pulling towards the thigh. So you get a little pull in that TFL. Try to twist to your right a little with it. So you're pulling that knee to the left as you're twisting to the right. Maybe flex that left foot. And then slowly release. Now we're going to go to the left TFL. So slide up onto that roller on that left glute. Drop to your left elbow. Right knee is bent behind that and foot flat behind that left knee. You're finding the middle of that glute. Roll yourself totally onto your left side. And make sure you're not on that hip bone. The hip bone's above that roller. And then you're going to pull that left knee in and out. In and out. So if your IT band is super tight, you might be feeling this. Couple more. One more. And then let that leg go straight and then gently rock it side to side, so your belly goes towards that roller a little bit, onto the side, a little onto that glute. And if you really want to get more into that TFL, you can always roll the front outer edge of that quad, which we are not going to get into today, but that's an option. If you're dying to roll that IT band and you don't want to go directly on the side, but go a little in front, that will also work for you. Then we're going to slide off. We're going to straighten out the right leg, pull that left foot across the right, and we're going to hug the knee and hold and pause here. And then flex, don't forget to flex that right foot. Then you're going to take that left foot and slide it backwards so you go to the outside edge and you're pushing that knee maybe a little closer to the thigh. So we're lengthening through that left hip, lengthen through the spine as well, and twist to your left. And breathe. And then we release. Extend it out. So one last spot to get for the lower leg, and that is hamstring. We'll do it briefly. If you have really short arms or the floor is far away, you can use yoga blocks if it's hard to reach the back. This one's a little challenging, again, like I said, without tennis balls. But what you're going to do is you're going to slide so your butt cheeks are kind of off the back of that roller. sliding back. We're going to start with the right leg. So you're going to lean slightly to the right, but to get a little more pressure on it, take your left ankle and cross it over your right thigh and open up that left knee. So you get a little pressure, and then just use that left knee, pulling it up and down as you rock side to side at the very top of your hamstring. And then slide yourself back, and again, rock it. So my right heel's on the floor. Maybe try your heel on the floor for a little balance, and then rock it side to side. Slide yourself back. So you keep sliding backwards so that roller slides down the thigh, the hamstring towards the knee. If you need to sit for a moment, you can also try straightening and bending the knee. That's another option. But come on, use that upper body strength. Lift that body if you can. Rock it side to side. Unless you have shoulder issues going on or wrist, you can always use your hands on the floor like this, or use those yoga blocks. Rock it side to side. Once you get down by that knee, we don't go behind the knee. And then you can also slide your body forward and back as an option to massage out. Try turning your leg inward just a bit so you get the inside edge of that hamstring, and then also turning your leg to the right so you get towards the outside edge. Might feel a little different each one. And then we lower the hips to the floor behind the roller. Uncross your left leg, and we're going to go to the other side. So lift yourself up, glutes hanging behind the roller, left leg is straight, right ankle crosses over left thigh. And then start to rock the leg side to side. Pull that right knee up and then lower it down, and the whole hip will go with it. And then walk your body backwards just a little bit so the roller goes down that thigh. And keep moving yourself backwards as you rock and roll side to side. If you need to put your hip on the floor, you can. Again, you can also, if you find a spot, straighten and bend that knee if it goes there. Depends on leg length. Everybody's a little different. Once you get down by the knee, you're going to slide your body back up towards the glute. Tilt your leg towards the right slightly so you can slide forward and back on the inside edge of the back of that leg. Then you're going to turn your leg to the left and roll the outside edge of the back of that leg. One more. And then you're going to lower your hips to the floor. Go ahead and slide the roller out to the side. Place it next to you. We want to get in and stretch those hamstrings now. So the right leg's the first one we did. So you're going to bend your right knee. Place your left ankle underneath that right knee. Flex your foot and lift nice and tall. And remember that left foot is not by your hamstring or your glute. It's down here under the knee. And then you're going to lift tall, flex your right foot, and then just lean into it. And maybe wiggle your foot a little. And this is getting into those, again, into the hamstrings. And you might feel like the tightness going on. That's why we wiggle that foot. Maybe you can reach your toes. And depending on if your hamstrings or calves are more tight, you might still be feeling the calf stretching. But you are getting that hamstring. You can even rock your body a little side to side. Loosen things up. And then walk your body nice and tall. Walk your hands up the thigh. Bend your right knee a little bit more so you can slide your left ankle out. Keep the left knee bent. Slide your right ankle under the left knee. And then straighten it. Lift through the spine and then start to lean forward. And wiggle that toe, that left foot. And just notice the difference on this side. Maybe it's tighter. Maybe you feel your calf more. Maybe you want to just sit tall and just kind of feel and enjoy that stretch. It's up to you if you lean forward, but we always want to keep that spine long and not collapse into it. No rounding of the back. Keep it nice and tall. And as you hold this stretch and you feel that tissue starting to soften, we want to melt it so it can move better. We have more mobility. One more breath here. And then we're going to walk it up. Release. Just shake out those legs. We're going to just touch base on the upper back here. So bring that roller behind you. Knees are soft, bent, and then bring your feet flat as you lean back so your shoulder blades go onto the roller. And then what you're going to do is bring your fingertips behind the ears. Keep your hips on the floor. First thing is just to feel where your back can extend to. A little mobility here, a little curve over the roller. With the breath, you don't want it to hurt. And then I want you to lift your head enough that you can elongate through the neck, press through your feet. Let's roll the upper back. Roll from the top of the shoulder blades down towards the bottom where the rib cage attaches. We don't roll the low back, not down the middle at least. Be mindful of contraindications. If you have any upper back issues going on, then just stay with your hips on the floor and curve the body over. Listen to your body. One more, roll up and down. And then find your center. Good. Now you're going to drop your knees over to one side. It doesn't matter either side. I'm going to my left to start with, just because I'm facing you. And you're going to rock into the the left armpit. Whatever side you're in, you're rocking into the armpit. And then back again to the shoulder blades. And then back into the armpit. As you rock into it, your elbow goes on the floor behind the roller. Head is supported with the hand. As you rock back into the shoulder blades, that elbow comes off the floor and then goes back on as you go in. So 2 more rock and roll. You might feel this all the way up into the shoulder if you have anything going on there, any rotator cuff issues. If you are missing lymph nodes, if you've got some things, you've had surgery here, then you don't want to rock into that lymph node area where they're missing. Stay backwards into that shoulder blade. One more. And then we're going to roll all the way back onto our backs. And this time we're going to center ourselves and drop the knees to the right and go all the way into that right armpit. Elbow again on the floor. And just rock yourself back into the shoulder blades and then back into the armpit. Same thing goes on this side. If you're missing lymph nodes, then don't roll into that area. Stay backwards into the shoulder blade. It's a great way just to loosen up and get mobility through the shoulder, especially on the right side. When you use a mouse on the computer, it can really affect the upper back. And get things tight. One more, rock and roll. And then we're going to come all the way back onto our hips, upper back on that roller. Let's roll the upper back one more time. Now that we've loosened things up around the shoulders, might feel a little more mobility, might be a little more relaxed in that upper back and that spine. Make sure you can nice exhale and inhale. One more roll, and then we lower the hips, and then lift yourself gently up. And you can cross your legs if you'd like. You can even hold on to the knees. And then drop your chin to the chest, nice little rounding through the back, stretch things out. And then lift the chest and open things up. You might feel a little release there. Now we're going to go into the front side. So we did the back, so I said basically we want to get to the front. This is a little challenging to get with the foam roller, again, but we're going to do it just so I can show you. And you can also sometimes use a tennis ball. So for this, you're going to lay on your belly, and you're going to bring the roller at a diagonal angle under your right chest and armpit area. And what you're going to do is you're going to wrap your right arm around that roller like you're giving it a hug. All right, and use your left elbow on the floor for support underneath your left shoulder. And just lean into that chest wall. You can even bring your chin onto the roller if you'd like. And then straighten and bend your right arm. So that roller is pressed right up into that chest wall, under that armpit. You're just going to do a gentle sweep with that right arm. Might be a little tender if you got something going on there. One more. And then we're going to release. And we're just going to bring that roller to the other side. So now you're going to go on to bring that roller to your left side. Bring it a little bit of as an angle so it is on that left chest wall, right under that armpit. And again, if you're missing lymph nodes, then you know to have a super soft roller or not press into that area. And then you're going to straighten and bend, sweep that left arm. And just notice the difference from the right side and the left side of the chest wall. You will slowly release. Use your arms, press yourself up. I always save the best for last, right? So the neck and the head, we want to roll the neck, the back of the neck and the head. So now that the body is very relaxed, you're going to slowly roll back down and bring your head on the roller like a pillow. If you have a rubber band in your hair or a ponytail, you might have to adjust it so you can get in there. Maybe bring your hair behind the roller. So you're getting, we don't want to roll the vertebrae, so you want to tilt your head slightly to the side. So maybe turn it to the right or left, it doesn't matter. And then you're going to nod your head yes. So you're getting into the muscle and the base of the skull on that diagonal back side of the neck. And then nod no. So you're not hitting the back of the vertebrae, and you're also not hitting the side of the neck all the way to the side. It's more of a diagonal, where the muscles are back there. Slowly tilt your head now to the opposite side. Make adjustments with that roller. And nod yes. And no. And then we're going to bring the roller back, our head to the center of the roller. Look up at the ceiling and bring the roller to right behind your head, the very back. So then if you drop your head to one side, the roller's above your ear. And just nod yes. And no. There's fascia tissue in your head as well, so we want to get it all. And then roll your head across the roller to the other side. Nod yes. And no. And then back through the center, a gentle rock from side to side. And then bring your head to center. Good. You can hug your knees in to your chest if you'd like. Now you can roll to your side, or you can just roll yourself all the way up. And move that roller to the side. Have a nice tall seat with your legs crossed or out to the side, whatever works for you. Feel the head, how much looser it feels, the neck, everything. Hands on the thighs, chin in alignment. Draw your right ear to the right shoulder so you can really stretch through the left side of the neck. And then slowly bring your chin down to the right side of your chest. So you're stretching the back of the neck. And then slowly bring your head to neutral. Draw your left ear to the left shoulder. Notice the difference on the side. Maybe your right side's a little tighter. Maybe the left side was on the side of the neck. And then bring your chin to the left side of your chest. Feel that stretch through the back of the neck. On the back opposite side, so be on the right side. And then bring your head to neutral. Align the chin, slide your shoulders up to your ears, and then all the way back down. One more time, slide the shoulders up, and then all the way back down. Take a nice deep breath in, reach those arms all the way overhead. Exhale, palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.